कुमार स्वामी नायक गोंगो लिबू लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
In this bulletin, banks urged to step up. Phase 3 of FNPF payouts on Tuesday. And Fijians urged to be wary of dengue and leptospirosis. Minister for Economy Ayasaid Kayum says local banks are critical in executing government incentives and initiatives announced in the budget. Speaking at the 27th Fiji Institute of Bankers annual general meeting, Said Kayum says Fiji's capacity to generate revenue is depleting as a direct consequence of the COVID-19 pandemic. Josiah Nanunga has more.
On the backdrop of a declining economy, the government says it's exhausting every avenue, investing in critical services and introducing innovative strategies.
We need to be able to find not necessarily a balance, but a ground where you'll be able to ensure that you look after your citizens, you don't have that level of exposure, but at the same time ensure that people actually still get employed, jobs are created, people have money in their pockets.
Syed Kayum says incentives such as the First Home Buyers Grant will spur growth, but banks must also think outside the box and engage meaningfully.
There are certain situations where we may have state land on which somebody may want to build. So how do you participate? Are you being creative enough to participate in that space? Are you going to be efficient in respect of processing those people who are going to apply for the grants?
The Economy Minister has revealed that Fiji lacks reliable and accurate data to assist the government in identifying areas that need serious attention.
By moving to digital space and by getting what we call also the national ID card, we must be able to have that level of data available to us, because getting that kind of data in your hands makes policy making very, very efficient and specifically targeted.
The government is optimistic that its economic recovery framework will succeed in bringing the country back on solid footing. Josiah Nanunga, FBC News.
The first payment for Phase 3 of the Fiji National Provident Fund's COVID-19 relief package will be processed on Tuesday. This payout is for members working on reduced hours and wage rates. Chief Executive Chao Koroi says the fund received a lot of applications for Phase 3 since it opened on August 10th.
The take-up actually is quite good. I mean, there's a lot of members who have accessed this. So far, about 14,000 members have accessed Phase 3, have applied for Phase 3.
The Methodist Church of Fiji is looking into setting up clear guidelines on the social media policy. This comes after the publication of 2 videos of evangelism activities on Facebook by preacher Reverend Ilyasia Kuroi. Church President Reverend Epineri Vakandiavosa will meet with Reverend Kuroi to discuss the live videos on social media. The first video shows members crawling between pews during the prayers, while the second purportedly shows a man on a wheelchair walking again after being prayed over. Church General Secretary Reverend Ilyasa Naivalu says evangelism is not new, but elders need to respect the people they work with and ensure that it is according to the doctrines they preach. The Health Minister says leptospirosis, dengue fever and typhoid are climate-sensitive diseases, with cases spiking during the wet weather and after the recent tropical cyclone Harold. With more than 4,000 cases of dengue fever and leptospirosis recorded so far, Dr. Ifiremi Wanganambete is urging Fijians to clean their surroundings and continue practicing safe hygiene. Dr. Wanganambete says there needs to be a holistic approach to counter these cases.
We are the front foot, but again, it has to be a whole of nation approach. We all have to do our part. We also have to remember that it doesn't change. Very soon it's going to be the hurricane season, come October. So, the talk around, personal hygiene, hand hygiene, eating healthy, that's not only for a season. That's an everyday. Yeah.
The Pacific Food Revolution TV show aims to educate the region about tackling non-communicable diseases. Season 2 of the show was launched last night, with organizers acknowledging the support of the Australia and New Zealand governments. Communications coordinator Wame Valentine says they are hoping the show will encourage behavioral change, not only for entertainment, but for promoting local healthy cuisine. It also wants to change the mindset of the Pacific people to lower NCD-related deaths.
84% of the deaths in Fiji are NCD related. 84% of the death. That's a massive jaw-dropping figure. We're trying to change the trend. And the only way we could do that is to promote and elevate local cuisine, to encourage Fijians and also the Pacific Islanders, to let them know, the answer and the solution to our health woes is literally in our backyard.
Minister for Commerce Fayaz Koya says companies such as Essence of Fiji have given the Fijian brand domestic and international exposure. Essence of Fiji has 69 products branded Fijian made, and in 2015, Group launched a $1 million Essence of Fiji Rejuvenation Center. It is the first international accredited therapy academy in the Pacific. The company has launched a new product, the VS Men's Skincare, and Koya says with Nama being the key ingredient, villages in Yasawa have found employment.
The Nama, ladies and gentlemen, is actually sourced from the villages of the Yasawa group, and this has continued to provide jobs for the villages during this particular time of pandemic. These communities have been given an opportunity to generate income and safeguard an important natural resource in a pristine environment.
Telecommunications company Digicel Fiji is the first company to pass on to consumers the benefits of the removal of data levy initiated by the government. It has launched a new product offering 40 GB of data, Digicel calls and texts for $10 a month. Chief Executive Farid Mohammed says the launch is timely given the current economic situation we're in. Mohammed says the company is also investing $30 million on upgrading their network with Phase 2, expected to be completed in September.
COVID has had a significant impact on the lives of our people here, not just in Fiji, but globally. And that's why, again, going back to the all-in theme, we are all in for Fiji. We are all in for supporting our communities. We are all in for supporting our people. We want to ensure that one of the essential services, which is communication, they are able to access at an affordable and reasonable price.
Up ahead, Lautoka trains for 90 minutes rugby and not 80. And Suva not part of Fiji Volleyball SGM.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
The Lautoka rugby side knows to win the Fairbrother Sullivan Challenge tomorrow, they need to maintain discipline at all times. The Maroon has a mammoth task as they take on Namosi in the Fairbrother and Skipper Cup match at Suva's ANZ Stadium. Lautoka has acquired the service of former Flying Fijian slog Ifiremi Rwanga as they hope to bring the Fairbrother to the West after a lapse of 7 years. Chair Tevita Momoindonu says they have upped the ante in terms of preparation.
This week, the preparations, we've lifted the preparations a bit, so to match, what we saw last week. Namosi, the champion team, to be able to get the Fairbrother down to the West, we need to play solid 90 minutes, disciplined rugby.
Suva will not be part of the Fiji Volleyball Federation special general meeting tomorrow. The Suva Association is running under an interim management whose aim is to get their house in order before joining the National Federation. Interim President Kemweli Naigama says there hasn't been much volleyball activities in Suva for the past 2 years, and now they're trying to revamp and revive the association. This is also one of the reasons Suva Volleyball has not paid their $500 affiliation fee to Fiji Volleyball, which means they'll miss the SGM tomorrow as they are not a financial member.
We had come together as past players and officials of Suva Volleyball Association to put together certain programs for the Suva Volleyball Association, which we thought that it would be best to revamp Suva Volleyball Association, encourage clubs, teams to come and be part of the association.
Lami is expecting a tough battle when they take on Raketi in the opening match of the Vodafone Futsal Inter-District Championship at 2 p.m. today. Both teams will be making their first appearance and hopes to prove their worth in the tournament. Wary of what the lone team from the north will bring to the court, Lami manager Kavnil Lal says they will take the game as a final.
Our first match is against Raketi, and they are just like us. They are newcomers and we are newcomers, so it's going to be a match of the newcomers. But we full respect for Raketi, and we're not expecting anything less but a good battle with Raketi.
Fiji Bati stars Micah Sivo and Wanga Blake scored a try each for the Parramatta Eels, helping secure the 14-0 win over the Storm last night. Both teams are now drawn at 24 all, but Eels remain in third on the ladder on points difference. Cloudy periods with brief showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands, mainly fine elsewhere. And that's your FBC News Now. Join us again at 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. And remember, in times of crisis, you need news you can trust. Get the verified facts from FBC's TV, radio, and digital news, or log on to our website at fbcnews.com.fj, keeping Fijians connected with the truth.
I'm from Lotoka and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.